violin was made in 1765 in Italy, in Venice, Italy. So it is amazing to be able to use something like this every day. People prize the sound of it. There's maybe something about an instrument, having been used for many years, that it's sort of broken in and the wood vibrates better naturally. And there are makers today who are, trying to figure that out and make wonderful instruments, but there's still something special about some of the old instruments. I started violin when I was around 5 years old. My parents thought it was a good idea to have music lessons, like a lot of parents. I'm the youngest in my family, so some of my older siblings had started already, and so I thought I would play also. It was one thing among many that I did growing up, just going to school and taking swimming lessons, things like that. I was lucky enough to grow up in an area where there was good music programs in the schools, so it kind of kept me going through some of those periods that maybe it's more challenging when you might get diverted from music. And eventually, my siblings and I decided to form a string quartet and to see if we could make it doing that. So my quartet is now in residence at the Eastman School of Music, where we teach and perform concerts there, as well as in this country and abroad. Originally, the quartet started as 4 siblings, believe it or not. A few years ago, one of my brothers decided to retire, but it's still 2 of my brothers and myself, and then we also have another woman who has joined us. A string quartet works together so closely that you really want to have people that you trust, that you get along with, that you have things in common with. So to start with, your siblings is sort of a built-in relationship. So there's some other things that you have to work through, but on the whole, it's great. We started out either on piano or violin, and eventually all moved to the strings. We've had a lot of adventures, from playing at the White House. We played at the Sydney Opera House. One of our first jobs took us out to live in a small farm town in Iowa. So we've been out and we've played for Pen of Pigs once, believe it or not, just for fun. But when we were out there, we also played for some Amish school children who had never heard a string quartet before. Connected with a lot of people from a lot of different walks of life. In the beginning, it was definitely just to get in shape. It seemed like a fun way to do it. That there was a lot of variety and that it was challenging. I think I discovered that there was more to it than simply fitness, that there was this side of community, that when you work out, it's both you and others pursuing the same goal. Just tuning into maybe the shared experience and the energy you get from other people and being in concert with each other. Music's amazing, and I think classical music in particular, it's just because it tries to capture the human experience as a whole. Classical music is about trying to express yourself, so things are like despair or frustration. Those things are in classical music, as well as sort of ecstatic and joyful and overcoming things. So it's that quality that I really enjoy about classical music. And I think it also draws me, and I think playing the music and then sharing with other people, gives you that connection too. I think the big question for string quartets is just making sure that the art form remains relevant and accessible to people. So today, there are so many choices and so much accessibility that I guess you just want to make sure that this medium, which has survived for already 200 years, still has a life beyond this.